Check 1, 2. I prefer.
Yeah, check.
I prefer.
Can you hear me?
What? Can you hear me? Huh? But you're not gonna beat side. I prefer.
Check. Ooh.
Number 2 is your volume.
Mm-hmm. All right. So here's the deal. Just be ready next week with your guitar. I'll bring my guitar. I don't know how much of the song. I'll probably present a little bit of it, but I'll bring it so that we can at least check all this out. Were you thinking about not?
Well, it was you playing, not me.
Yeah, I know. But you got to join in. I'm going to write a second part for you.
I can't play.
Yeah, you can. We've done stuff before where you got one of them, ding, 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 you know, something repeatable.
Well, I need to practice it about 1,000,000 times, and I'm.
Now you see how I feel.
I don't want to touch any of these buttons, but I is for the sound effects.
Gotcha. Hey. That'd be a good intro music.
Welcome back to Just These Guys, you know.
What's happening?
Here at the Shady Lounge.
Bang, bang, down.
That makes you want to.
That was good.
Yeah.
We need to pop that one again. I didn't know it was going to go that long. Ooh, it's even got a little
funk.
Little funky electric guitar.
I recorded that about a week ago.
That was good. You did fantastic.
No.
You played all the parts?
No. Crikey, mate.
Crikey.
Crikey. Welcome to our friends down under.
Uh-huh.
Today's going to be a Bonzo show.
Bonzer?
Bonzer.
Explain.
Awesome.
Oh, Bonzer. Awesome. Okay.
Well, I figure since
Bonzer.
45-50% of our audience is from down under, we gotta make them feel welcome.
Yeah, heck yeah. Bonzer. It's Bonzer that they're here. Listening away with us. You ready?
Oh. One, two.
Let's do it. Oh, man. Now we can get started.
What's on tap for the show today, Mike?
I had an idea.
You did?
Mm-hmm. Why, for so many people,
Why?
is this? Well, I wrote a little parody. It's the most stressful time of the year. There'll be much overspending and families blending in misery and tears. It's the most. Why is that?
I'm mesmerized about your voice.
Stressful time of the year.
Wow.
Because I don't get it. I can understand it. But I don't feel any. Maybe it's because, we don't have the stress of blended family. Only been married once, and we don't have any relatives really. My parents, my parents divorced when they were younger, or when I was younger. We were all younger. Funny how that works.
I'll circle back.
But my mother has passed, so we don't have to split that kind of time. I know there's a lot of factors that go into this, but I'm just curious if we might be able to help somebody to process through, even though we're, 21 days away from Christmas, maybe if you just reconsider a few things.
But the 4 fundamentals dun, dun, dun,
Bump.
are not a thing. They're not. I just made it up.
Sure.
I mean, I just repackaged some stuff in a way that's easier to remember. You enjoying the coffee?
Yeah, something's different.
Something's different.
Something's different about that right there.
You can thank Tish.
Yeah.
She bought you a special I'm going to say Christmas coffee.
There's a nuttiness to it.
I don't know about that. I don't want to hear about your personal problems.
The
volume's not up.
No, I'm liking that music one. Go back to that, yeah. I got my elbow way out because I'm trying to get over here to this beautiful whip topic.
Today on Jesse's Guys, Mike tries to guess what's in his coffee. Who knows?
Boy, I have to think about that for a while.
And you got
Come
till
back
the
to me on that.
music stops. Bob, what's he got for a prize?
What is
The 4 fundamentals.
Yeah.
It's a way to remember. It's a way to kind of when I study stuff, because I'll read the book, but then I can't tell you what was in the book. So in order to know what was in the book, I have to break it down into manageable chunks and summarize, the chapters, summarize different chunks. And once I get that summary, then I can have a better chance of remembering the summary. But to help me remember the summary, I'll then write a sentence that encapsulates the summary.
right?
That way, if I can remember the sentence, that'll get my brain to the summary. Then that gets me to the full chapter or the full book. And to further one step to help me remember the sentences, I'll make some sort of mnemonic out of the sentences.
Yeah, it's the same thing I do with messages.
Yes.
I get that one line.
Yes.
It's a mind map. And get that one line that it's like, okay, we're going to turn here.
Key to the mind palace.
Yes, indeed. So we're going to turn right here at this thought.
Mm-hmm.
And that's going to lead me to be able to continue on with the conversation. So yeah, same thing.
And so the 4 fundamentals, that's all that is essentially is a mnemonic. It's a way of remembering. I always tie it to, athletic fundamentals, like the 4 fundamentals to a forward pass, or, fundamental, stance for linemen, or, but the fundamentals of a golf swing, there's basically 3 or 4 fundamentals to a golf swing. And so, when you're looking at what's going on in life, why do I feel this way? Answer. Oh, no. Yes. X plus Y equals Z, event plus thought equals experience. So why do you feel this way is how you think. And so if you dive into why you're stressed and listen and analyze like a fiend why you're stressed, fundamental number 1, I can't control what other people think, do, or feel. Can't control the past or the future. And a lot of our stress is we want little Johnny to be happy. We want, our wives to be, impressed. We think about past Christmases and how bad they were, or, we worry about will we be able to get together again? And so that puts a lot of pressure on this year. So, right out of the gate, we're focusing on things we don't have any power to control. And that takes control away from us, creates stress, frustration, anger, guilt.
Yep.
Which is, fundamental number 2. And that's simply a way of thinking that creates a lot of that frustration and anger, giving control away. I'm thinking this should be a good Christmas. I should get my children the correct present. My kids deserve this. And so the pressure starts to build to meet these expectations and demands that we have created in our mind of what it should be. And then we I would say, over glamorize maybe our childhood Christmases. And we have these hallmark, memories of when we were growing up and what it was like. And, if you ask your parents, you kids woke me up at 5 a.m.
One the same experience. Yeah, the cousins from Coolidge, the cousins of the shoulds, have to and got to, they end up showing up.
Sure.
Because, like you're saying, we feel like we got to take, good care of little Johnny or whoever. And that's normal. I mean, it's being a good parent. But
no, it's not.
We want to,
Well, it's that thought process. That's where, it's a good intention. And what do they say about the road to hell?
Mm-hmm.
So we have these good intentions. Oh, it's got to be wonderful. And yes, there are many parents who have split families. So there's a conflict about who gets what day. And, they shouldn't have to do this and they shouldn't have to do that. And he's taking them to the new girlfriend's house and they shouldn't be meeting her yet. And I mean, so,
Yeah, that's true.
Dwight Yoakam wrote a song years ago that I just loved. And it's a beautiful Christmas melody, but the words of the song are Trailer Park Crash.
Yeah.
What was the name of that? But anyway, it's about two rednecks that are separated, and the wife's got a new girlfriend, and they live in a trailer park. Mm-hmm. Mama said Santa can't stay.
Mama said Santa can't stay. I'll check it out.
Just an incredible song. It's dark humor because it's true. And from a child's perspective, it's, a very different world, but, from an adult perspective. And so if you have a separated family issue, either you are divorced, you're going through a divorce, you're getting ready to go to a divorce, then there's all sorts of other complications that come into and it's a lot of that. And this is where I've spent, the last 18 years of my career is on one word, should. Mm-hmm. He shouldn't do that. They shouldn't be doing this. They should be doing this. And so that adds in just a lot of frustration and pressure, and it makes us feel helpless and hopeless. And then, fundamental number 3, and again, the numbers mean nothing. It's just a way to remember a lot of thought processes that contaminate our thinking. We worry. Mm-hmm. We worry if we have enough money. We worry if we bought enough. We worry if they're really happy.
Yeah. What if?
And then, the fourth fundamental, the roof on the house is, are we thinking negatively? I can't have, and that's, what trips up a lot of parents is they go to the store and they buy whatever gifts they buy, and they're thinking about all the gifts they couldn't buy, what they couldn't give their kids. And so they're sad because they're thinking about what they can't have, whereas, the kids are just, not I'm going to say just, but the kids are happy to get a present.
Yeah.
The kids are happy to have a Christmas tree and some lights there. And that's, we can make our experiences, we can make Christmas, even starting today, you can declare today, today is the day that the Lord hath made, I shall rejoice. You can make today a great day. You can make this a great week. You can make it a great Christmas, whether you have a lot of money or don't have a lot of money.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. The mind, oh my gosh. Just yesterday,
all my troubles seem so far away.
I was having a conversation with a good buddy of mine, and he was talking about some work that he was doing for a client that was, he was painting a building for them, and he was texting, which, by the way, don't have any significant conversations if there's any significance to it. If there needs to be some clear communication in this conversation.
Come down off the ladder.
Dude, yeah. Well, yeah. Start by coming down off the ladder. You know how many times
20 feet in the air, paintbrush in hand.
Yep. Phone in the other. You know how many times I've almost fallen off a ladder doing that stupid move right there? Dang.
That is a heart starter.
Oh, yeah.
For the ladder to just shift.
Yep.
Like a quarter inch.
Yep.
You go, ah.
But you kind of get used to that over the years. And that's when it becomes dangerous. Mm-hmm. As soon as you lose that little spark, that little spark of letting you know you're about to go down, that's when it gets dangerous. But I'm having this conversation with him, and he's telling me that he was texting. So that's what I started to say. Don't have a text conversation. If it's important and you need clear communication, don't text. It's stupid to do that. Mm-hmm. But he said, I was telling him that I feel like there's one more step that needs to take place. And he texts back to me. This is him talking. He texts back to me, when you're done, we're done. Okay. So his mind immediately goes to, what did I say? What did I do wrong? And
She's
why is that?
divorcing me.
Yeah, why did that happen? Because there was no real context. Well, but even more so, it was how do we in our minds vocalize this? So I'm reading a text, and in my mind, it's when you're done, we're done. Instead, so he sends it back. He sends, did I do something wrong? And so the guy calls him, right? As soon as he gets the text back, did I do something wrong? He calls him and he says, no, dude, I'm trying to tell you, when you're satisfied, we're satisfied, because obviously you're being very picky. And so I'm sitting there going, man, the mind, we go negative so fast. It's like we're speed racers when it comes to the negativity. And if we can begin to shift that, that's when it truly can and will become the most wonderful life.
The power of the mind, I can demonstrate it in a couple of phenomena. One you're kind of talking about. I had a guy walk in one day, and he kind of out of character was stomping mad. And he was just, fit to be tied, leaning left, right. And he kept looking at his phone, rolling his eyes. And I said, what's going on? And he said, my ex-wife, here, you read it. And he shoved it at me like a weapon.
Yeah.
And so I began reading, and he leans around the phone and says, you're not having the same reaction I had.
Yeah. What's the matter with you?
I said, well, it wasn't like a 3-word text. It was a long email.
Mm-hmm.
I said, well, let me read it out loud. And when I get to the point you're upset about, you can point it out to me. So I began reading out loud, and the sentence went something like, so as for who takes the kids to soccer tonight, whatever you decide is fine with me. And he goes, that's not the voice I had in my head. And the way
you're not reading it right. You're not.
The way he read
not mad
it.
enough.
Yeah. Well, the way he read it was, as for whoever takes the kids tonight, whatever.
Right.
You decide.
Right.
And that sound, the voice he had in his head was real.
Sure.
His emotions, he was pacing. He was getting ready to throw the phone. He was so mad he couldn't even talk to me about it. A voice in his head.
Mm-hmm.
And you talked about having conversations while mowing the lawn.
Oh, yeah.
That voice in your head is real as the voice in your ear.
Mm-hmm.
And we talked about this last week with false memories. Eyewitness testimony, people stand up there and swear up and down, that is who I saw. And they're like, that was impossible because they were in Greece for a week. We have him checking in and out of the hotel. We have
Firmed
video
alibi,
of him in the lobby at the time of the crime.
Mm-hmm.
But in their mind, that's what they see. And that image is real enough to them. They would go to the police. They would make the statement. They would stand there in court. They would swear up and down that is who they saw. But it's it's a figment, it's a fig Newton of their imagination.
Mm-hmm.
So if it can work to our detriment, it can work to our benefit.
Boom. Whatever you imagine, whatever you can imagine in your mind can become that self-fulfilling prophecy. Wow. Boom.
At 2 levels. One is my experience. So just as I think about this is great, I can experience whatever it is as great.
Mm-hmm. Which is crazy to consider. Whatever it is.
Whatever it is.
Somebody could be dragging your butt into court, and it can still be
good.
It doesn't matter what the outcome is going to be. You don't control that.
Good.
Yeah.
Another gentleman who was going through a lot of wranglings, loved this guy. He's so great. He made such a huge transformation over a couple of years. He came back in, ordered him in for some more stuff, do some situations going on. And I walked out, and he was on the phone, so I left him alone. And when he got done with the phone, I walked back out, and he smiled, and he got up, and he shook my hand. He's like, "Damn, glad to see ya." Oh, and he was asking questions. It was just, a reunion. And I'm like, "Who was on the phone?" He goes, "Oh, that was Department of Children and Families. And this other county, she's filed a 4th complaint in another county. So I'm going to call them back after I'm done meeting with you. How you been?"
Yeah.
So a 4th, basically criminal complaint, essentially.
Mm-hmm.
And the ex had gone to 4 different counties and filed the same complaint in 4 different counties just to muck up the legal kind of wranglings that he now has to deal with. And he was just happy to be here and see me. Even though it was a court-ordered deal, it's a chance to meet up with Lance again. I haven't seen him in a while.
Mm-hmm.
And then at the end of our meeting, I said, "So you got any plans?" And he goes, "Well, once a month, I get a therapy visit with my daughter in such and such county. It's 2 hours away. He goes, once a month, I get a therapy visit with my daughter." And I was thinking yesterday, what can I do to make that a good meeting?
Mm.
And this is a big old redneck boy.
Mm-hmm.
And he thought, I could bake cookies. And I'm like, "You bake?" He goes, "Nope." So he went to the grocery store and he asked a couple of old ladies, "Excuse me, I want to make some cookies for my daughter. What ingredient? How do I do that?" And these little old ladies stood there and wrote out a recipe for him and helped him pick out the flour and the chocolate chips. And he said to me, he goes, "So tonight when I sit down, when I get off work, I'm going to go into the kitchen and I'm going to bake some cookies so I can put 2 homemade cookies in a Ziploc bag and walk into that meeting and give my daughter 2 homemade cookies." And the smile on his face was incredible that's all it was. Everything else, he has zero control over. So everything else he does not think about. He's just thinking about the look on her face when he hands her 2 homemade cookies from Daddy.
Because he had gotten rid of all the crap in his mind, that all the shoulds, the should happens. No, doesn't have to happen. All the what ifs, all of that junk. And he focused on what he could control and what he wanted.
Exactly.
Boom.
Now, 1.
Yep.
Now, 1. And 1, M-U-O with a squiggly over it, N, is Vietnamese for want. Present moment, what do you want? Present moment, what do you want? And you, present moment, I want this to be a good Christmas.
Well, what's pretty amazing is I was standing here going, I want to learn a word in Vietnamese. And you just did that.
You've learned 2 foreign languages today.
Yeah.
You've learned Vietnamese and Australian.
Yeah.
That's Bonzer.
Yeah.
That sounds more like
well, how'd you say the one? The
M-U-O-N.
Vietnamese. M-U, but how'd you pronounce it?
1.
1.
With an M.
1. Okay. I can't see behind your microphone. 1.
Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth?
1 Bonzer.
1.
Got it.
Want. Awesome.
So just to wrap that little piece up right there.
Okay. Today's a short show.
When he said, he called me and told me that, listen, you didn't do anything wrong. When you're satisfied, we're satisfied. He said, why do I go so negative so quick? And I said, and I've said this to him several times, I said, dude, I know a podcast that could help you a lot. And his answer was, I know.
I know.
I was like, come on. Do I got to take your phone and download it? So you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him want.
Well, and he's in that bubble of, I should listen to that, but
Yeah, right.
I got
Shoulds.
this to do, and I need to do that, and I got to do this. And
It is a good should. Yeah.
no, it's not.
Well, I should.
No,
Well, he hasn't moved it to want. But you're right. He's stuck in that spot.
and I'm not being critical. There are no good shoulds.
You've said before there were good shoulds.
There are shoulds that are. I'm just quoting Jesus, man. Don't be mad at me. Jesus said there's only one thing needed, actually.
Yeah.
But if you should drive the speed limit, you shouldn't rob banks. These are laws.
Right.
If you order a burger and they give you a fish sandwich, they should give you what you paid for. That is a law. And, Jesus said, whose face is on the coin?
Mm-hmm.
Caesar's. Oh, okay. Well, render unto Caesar what is Caesar's.
Mm-hmm.
Render unto God what is God's. Done. The moment, if something is a should, it's a law. If it's a law, it's a should. And then follow the law, and you're done.
Yeah.
And immediately turn your attention to the other 99%.
Mm-hmm.
Speed limit 75. I shouldn't have to drive this slow. I should be able to drive faster. They shouldn't give me tickets. And we complain the whole way, or we could say speed limit 75, cruise control. Now, how do I want to enjoy this drive? Do I want to listen to a little music? Get my groove on here in the driver's seat?
Here we go. Huh? Hey.
Or
I sometimes forget this is also on video.
people
Oh, boy.
appreciate your grooving.
Yeah. Yeah. White man's groove.
Podcast audience has not yet seen Mike dance.
Yeah. I don't know if that's called dancing.
That's the white man wedding dance.
Mm-hmm. That's an earworm right there.
You live in this box. Stay right here.
Yep.
Don't move.
The feet never lose contact with the floor.
Nope. Hands within the context of the shoulder. Don't go out. Don't go wide.
It's out of control.
None of this.
You got to have too much timing to be able to get out that wide.
Just live right here.
Right there.
Left.
No.
Right. Left. That's it. Where you live. So what else is going on?
Well, we've had some good stuff going down at the church.
I was going to say, how's any news or progress on the campaign?
Yeah, I mean, we haven't even officially kicked it off. It kicks off on the 17th, Sunday the 17th. That's Commitment Sunday. But we've had many families already stepped in and signed up and are already given to it. Here's the interesting part of it that I'm really appreciating is I think that let me put it this way. I think that we hungered for generosity, and not just to receive generosity, but when we really begin to understand just how generous a God we have, then that moves us towards generosity. It moves us towards being generous. And so what we've found is that the overall giving has increased quite a bit, not just the heart for the house,
Sure.
but the overall giving because of the awareness of the fact that we are a people, a generous people, and we are creating a culture of increased generosity because it's benefiting everybody. So it's really exciting. That pumps some serious energy into what's going on in the life of the church. And so, yeah, super excited about what's going on with all that. And so December 17th is going to be a really cool Sunday. It's going to be our family Christmas Sunday. Lots of kids in the auditorium. I know that gets you excited, especially if a ton of them just sit right there behind you. Make lots of you're already saying we'll be watching from home that Sunday.
I think I'll serve.
Yeah,
Work the information booth out front.
yeah. So yeah, no, that's all. It's all good.
Greet the stragglers.
Am I in your ears as much as in my ears? Just smacking away over here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Are you going to be able to edit those out?
Yes.
I'm making you work harder. So how much time have you been able to kind of reduce this down to as far as spent on the backside of all this?
If it's just a basic turn and burn, where there's no fancy editing or anything, I've reduced it to about 10 hours.
Yeah. See, 10 hours. I asked the question just so that we can all appreciate all that you do on, again, the backside, all of the post-production and everything, because it is a serious commitment. And so, on behalf of everybody all across the world, including Australia, thank you.
Well, you're welcome. Thank you. It's fun for me.
Yeah.
I mean, it's really hobbyish. I enjoy doing it.
Yeah.
So it's an excuse for me to tinker and mess with.
Yeah. Well, it shows because you do a lot of extra stuff. A lot of the, words that you'll put in or little clips that you'll put in. And so it's very well done, and it shows that you love to do it.
Well, you're welcome.
Yeah. Appreciate it. If there's ever anything I can help with, I'll find somebody.
And I just realized that I'm like double fisting it here.
Yeah, you usually drink out of that cup.
I don't know.
I never see you drink out of that.
I do. Look, it's half empty. Or
I'm still trying to figure out what
it's half full.
What was in that? So you don't know?
I do.
Okay. Is it a common ingredient?
Yes, and I say I do. I have a basic. You want me to?
Yeah.
There's got to be a button for that.
Yeah, it's this one. There it is.
It's McDonald's.
What?
It has, it's a K-cup. Tish picked it up for you.
McDonald's coffee K-cup.
It has cinnamon and vanilla. I say it's McDonald's. I just took a glance at it this morning, but we made a sample run this weekend to make sure. What the heck? It's not wine.
Yeah,
so
maybe it's the cinnamon I'm trying to
There's
figure out.
cinnamon and vanilla is what I saw as two of the ingredients.
The cinnamon.
Now,
It's good.
If you're tasting wood, that would be from the sanding I did on the kitchen cabinets.
Yeah, well,
A few
it
paint
could
chips.
that's the dusting of.
Sawdust.
That's a little added fiber,
There's a little hickory flavor because I believe those are hickory cabinets.
right? That's some mahogany. No, it's good. It's, as always. I haven't had a bad cup of coffee over here since I actually admitted how bad your coffee was for so many years. Or you drug it out of me, I guess. Can you imagine how long? If I was still standing here trying to fake it to make it.
I'm still stunned by how long it was before you said a word.
Oh, yeah, a long time.
6 years.
Yep.
Weekly.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my.
You're
If that ain't a lesson in getting to what you want, quit living life with the stuff that you don't. You're just going through life trying to figure out how to make everybody else happy.
I'm going to start calling you Belvedere.
Dang.
It's a good hound dog name.
Belvedere.
Come here, boy. Belvedere.
Come
Belvedere.
here, Belvedere.
Hound dog. You Aussies don't know about no
The
hound
Looney
dog.
Tunes.
The hound dog. Big old lazy hound dog, jowls hanging, ears hanging, will lay on a sticker and howl rather than get up.
Why would they not know about a hound dog?
They ain't calm down. They got dingoes.
That's the only one they got.
A dingo ate my baby.
A dingo. Ate my baby.
We're sliding back into the podcast. We took a break to talk about home remodeling. The idea there for me with all of these things is why not?
Sure.
I mean, one of the things I ask people to do is prove an irrational thought to me. So if they say I'm an idiot, I'm like, okay, prove it. Or if I'm unlovable, okay, prove it. I'll never meet anybody else. Okay, prove it. You prove to me you'll never meet another person in your life. I'll go down that road with you. And so when people tell me you can't do that, why not?
Sure.
Prove it to me that I can't do it. Otherwise, I'm going to give it my best shot.
I just saw him remodel an entire house on TV in 30 minutes.
Why not?
That's an irrational thought.
Well, I understand it's condensed over time, but
you see who's doing it. And yeah, there's so many things that we can do. We just have ourselves convinced that we can't because negativity.
And do me a favor, just for giggles, take your headphones off and go tap my face. Okay, there we go. Okay, let's start the whole show over. I even wrote it right here.
Focus! Come on, focus!
Tish told me the other day I have a focus problem, and it's so bad because Ryan tells me, Dad,
good.
focus.
Yeah.
She said, even Ryan sees it.
Well, you talk about the blind leading the blind. By the way, I'm talking about you and me, not you and Ryan.
I know. What's special about you?
What's special about me?
What's special about you?
I mean, I have a lot of special things about me.
And like I said, this won't hit the air.
What? We're going to continue to do stuff that won't hit the air?
You're going to talk about how good looking you are? Oh, and I'm the only one in church who knew that song.
Yeah, that's true. Only one. How ridiculous is that?
Mac Davis.
But we got us a young church.
Oh, Lord, it's hard to be humble.
Yeah.
When you're perfect in every way. When we're struggling, this is the deal that, we go back to the mind, how we see ourselves. And if I make a mistake in the moment, those messages that immediately start hitting me are going to tear me down, make me feel bad. How do I talk to myself? How do I think about myself? When I make a mistake, what am I going to say to myself? When I'm challenged to do something, what am I going to say to myself about that challenge? And those, having that identity, having that, kind of go to self-talk.
So powerful. But you're right. Why would you not think that you could do a sliding glass door?
Why not?
Why not? Heck yeah.
Prove to me why not,
Mm-hmm.
or else I'm going forward.
There you go.
And so what I try to do and what I encourage people to do is set a positive path forward, set a dream, set a goal, and work towards it, and then wait for the proof that that's not possible, as opposed to setting a negative goal or taking a negative mindset and then trying to prove the positive. Oh, I can't do that. Yes, you can. Come on. Other people have to get involved, and then it's fake, it's false, and even if you do it, you don't believe you did it, and I couldn't have done it without all this help, and so why not?
I haven't been thinking about this as long as you have. You were about 30 seconds ahead of me.
Well, what was the topic today?
It was, some of it was the stress of the season.
Oh,
Some of it was the whole identity, four fundamentals. We talked about a lot. What do you want? What do you imagine? Where's the direction of your life gonna go based on what you desire? It was really good.
wow. Where was I?
Are you having a stroke?
I might be. Okay. That's a good point to wrap up.
Are you having a stroke?
We've edited out probably 10 or 15 minutes of that you just kind of went down. So we're going to wrap up here. Thank you guys for tuning in today. We hope that you have a Merry Christmas. We hope that you got a little something out of this. And for all the fun we're having, no worries, mate. We'll see you next week.
What's that word again?
Bonzer.
Have a bonzer Christmas.
We think that's how it's used. So
Right.
have a bonzer Christmas. See ya.
See ya.
Duck, you're drunk, don't come inside. I'm not joking, I've had all this I can take. He threw a present really hard that almost hit Mom's new boyfriend Ray. And yelled, ho ho, lucky for you, she's here and said that Santa can't stay.